Move in with us. Follow every rule. No privacy. No money decisions. His mother smiles while the room goes completely silent, and every eye turns to me. We're standing at our engagement party, champagne glasses midair, my hand still in Daniel's, except his grip just tightened. Too tight. Like he already knows what's coming. His father leans forward and calmly adds, "In this family, we make decisions together. You won't be handling finances alone anymore." They're not asking. They're announcing terms, like I've already agreed. Like I don't get a say in my own life. I turn to Daniel, waiting for him to laugh it off, say something, anything. He doesn't. He just nods.
Once.
So I smile back at his parents to reach into my bag and slide a folder onto the table. The soft thud of it landing feels louder than anything they just said. For a second, no one moves. The music still plays faintly in the background, but it might as well not exist. Even the waiter behind Victor freezes mid-step, like he's not sure if he should keep walking or disappear. Elaine's smile flickers, just for a moment, but she recovers quickly. "Oh, sweetheart," she says, almost laughing, "there's no need to be nervous. This is just how our family works." Our family. The way she says it, like I've already signed something, like I've already stepped into a role I never agreed to. I glance around the room. My friends are staring. My colleagues, people who know exactly what I do for a living, are watching this unfold like it's some kind of performance. And Daniel still hasn't let go of my hand. But now it doesn't feel reassuring. It feels like pressure, like he's waiting for me to just go along with it. "Of course," I say softly, keeping my voice steady. "I understand." Victor relaxes back into his chair, satisfied. Elaine's smile widens again. Then I place my fingertips on the folder and gently push it toward them. "But before I agree to anything," I say, looking directly at Daniel this time, "can I ask one question?" He hesitates, just a fraction too long. And that's when I realize they don't know what's inside the folder. Before we go anywhere further, comment where in the world you are watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Daniel's hesitation doesn't go unnoticed. Not by me, and definitely not by the room. Victor clears his throat, leaning forward again, trying to take control back. "A question is fine," he says, voice measured. "But let's not overcomplicate things. This is about unity."
Unity.
The word hangs there, heavy and rehearsed. I keep my hand resting lightly on the folder, but I don't open it yet. Not yet. "I agree," I say calmly. Clarity matters. My eyes shift to Daniel. "So, I just want to understand, when exactly were you going to tell me about all of this?" A ripple moves through the guests. Subtle, but there. Daniel exhales through his nose, like he's been holding something in. "Maya," he says quietly, "we talked about building a future together." "That's not what I asked." His jaw tightens. He glances at his parents, then back at me. That quick look, it says everything he won't. And suddenly, pieces I ignored start clicking into place. The way he brushed off my questions about finances. The way he'd changed the subject whenever I asked about long-term plans. The locked drawer in his desk, he told me, was just work stuff. It wasn't work. Elaine lets out a soft, almost amused sigh. "Sweetheart, these kinds of arrangements aren't meant to feel transactional. They're built on trust." I meet her gaze.
Exactly.
"That's why I'm asking." Victor's tone sharpens slightly. "You're making this sound like something it's not." "Then help me understand what it is," I reply. There's a pause. Too long, too careful. Daniel finally speaks again, lower this time. "We were going to go over everything before the wedding." Before the wedding. Not before the engagement. Not before standing here, in front of everyone, being told how my life would be run. Before it's too late. A quiet pressure builds in my chest, but I keep my expression steady. "So you did know?" He doesn't answer right away. Then, barely above a whisper, he says, "Yes." The word lands harder than anything his parents said. Around us, the energy in the room shifts. Conversations have completely died. No one's pretending this is normal anymore. I nod slowly, like I'm processing it, like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt one last time. But I'm not. I slide the folder an inch closer to Victor and Elaine. Then I think it's fair, I say, voice clear now, that everyone here sees what you asked me to sign first. Elaine's smile tightens. Victor's eyes drop, just briefly, to the edge of the folder. And for the first time since this started, neither of them speaks. Elaine is the first to recover, but it's slower this time. Sign what exactly? She asks, her voice still polished but thinner now. I don't answer her right away. Instead, I open the folder. The soft slide of paper against paper cuts through the silence, and I turn it so it faces them, but angled just enough that the people closest to the table can see. It's strange, I say, almost conversational. I don't remember agreeing to anything, but this was already drafted. Victor's eyes lock onto the page. His expression doesn't collapse, but it tightens. Controlled. Careful. Daniel shifts beside me. Maya, he mutters under his breath. We don't need to do this here. I ignore him. This, I continue, tapping the top sheet lightly, is a prenuptial agreement. Already prepared. Already structured. A murmur breaks out. Low, sharp whispers from both sides of the room. Elaine leans forward quickly, her smile snapping back into place like it's forced. That's completely normal. Responsible, even. You're misinterpreting. Am I? I cut in, still calm. I slide the page slightly forward, exposing the highlighted sections. Clause 4. I read, not raising my voice, but making sure it carries. All individual income earned by the spouse, me, will be deposited into a central family-managed account. The whispers get louder. Victor straightens. That's a standard structure for asset protection. I nod once.
Right.
And this part. I trace the next line with my finger. Property acquired during the marriage is held under a trust. Managed by you. Now people are openly staring. Someone behind Elaine actually says, Wait, what? Daniel finally steps in, his voice tight. Maya, you're taking it out of context. I turn to him slowly. Then explain the context. He opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. That silence? It says more than anything he could have said. I look back at his parents. You stood here, I say, my voice steady but sharper now, and told me I wouldn't handle my own money. That I'd follow your rules. But you already put it in writing before even telling me it existed. Elaine's composure slips again. We were going to discuss it privately. After the engagement? I ask. No answer. The room feels smaller now. Tighter. Like the walls are closing in around this table. I gently tap the stack again. That's just page 1, I say. Victor's eyes flick up to mine. And this time, there's no confidence in them. Victor's jaw tightens, the first real crack in his control. There is no page 2 that concerns you, he says, voice low and firm, but it doesn't carry the same authority anymore. I don't argue. I just flip the page. The sound is quiet, but it lands harder than anything else tonight. Daniel freezes beside me. I don't even have to look at him to feel it. His hand finally slips away from mine. Too late. Elaine leans in quickly, like she can contain it if she moves fast enough. But she stops the second she sees what's on the page. And for the first time since I've known her, she has no expression at all. This, I say, sliding the second page forward, is what I found behind the first one. No one interrupts now. Not Victor. Not Elaine. Not even Daniel. The room has gone completely still. I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. Because the first page? I continue, tapping it lightly. That could still be explained away as tradition. As structure. I let a beat pass. Then, I tap the second page. But this part can't. A guest steps a little closer. Someone else sets their glass down too hard on a nearby table. Victor finally reaches out, like he's about to pull the paper back, but stops halfway. His hand hovers, then drops. He knows. Daniel exhales sharply. Maya, please, he says, barely above a whisper now. This isn't how this was supposed to happen. I turn to him, steady. How is it supposed to happen? I ask. He doesn't answer, because we both know the truth. It was supposed to happen quietly. After signatures. after I was already tied into something I couldn't walk away from. I look back at Victor, then at Elaine. They're not smiling anymore. They're waiting,
Hoping.
calculating if there's still a way to spin this. I hold their gaze for one long second, then shift my eyes across the room, making sure everyone is still watching. Do you want to explain it? I ask calmly. Or should I read it out loud? No one answers me. Not Victor. Not Elaine. Not Daniel. That's all the confirmation I need. So I nod once and lift the second page slightly, just enough to read from it. Clause 9. I say, my voice steady, cutting clean through the silence. All future earnings of the spouse, me, will be partially redirected into a family trust, controlled by Victor Okeke as primary trustee. A sharp intake of breath comes from somewhere behind Elaine. I don't stop. In the event of divorce, I continue. The spouse forfeits any claim to shared assets accumulated under said structure. Now the silence feels different, heavier, colder, and attached, I add, flipping the corner just enough to expose the printed emails beneath, are written confirmations. From Daniel, agreeing to these terms before presenting them to me. That's when it breaks. A voice from the crowd, one of Victor's business associates, cuts in, low but unmistakable. You set this up in advance? Daniel doesn't respond. He can't. I lower the page slowly and look at him. Not angry, not loud. Just clear. You didn't ask me to build a life with you, I say. You plan to absorb mine into something I never agreed to. His face shifts, panic, regret, something desperate, but none of it forms into words that matter. Elaine tries to step in, her voice tight. This is being completely misrepresented. No, someone interrupts from the side. It's being exposed. That lands harder than anything I've said. Victor straightens, like he's about to reclaim control again, but it's gone. Completely gone. People aren't looking at him with respect anymore. They're looking at him with questions, with doubt, with judgment. I reach up calmly and slide the ring off my finger. The tiny sound it makes when I place it on the table echoes louder than it should. This isn't a marriage, I say quietly. It's a contract I never agreed to. Daniel finally steps forward. Maya, wait. I shake my head once.
No.
You already did. And I turn. I walk past the table, past the guests, past the silence that follows me all the way to the door. No one stops me. Outside, the night air hits cold, but clean, like stepping out of something I didn't realize was closing in on me. For a second, I just stand there, breathing. Then I look down at the folder still in my hand, close it, and let my shoulders finally drop. Inside, I can still hear faint voices rising, questions, arguments, the sound of something unraveling. But none of it belongs to me anymore. I didn't lose a fiancé that night. I escaped a future.